G'day, ZiggyD here with some Path of Exile news. Occasionally, whenever a new patch comes out or another piece of significant Path of Exile news happens, I like to give you guys my summary of it and analysis, and you guys seem to appreciate that, so here you go. Patch 1.0.1 is coming out probably within 1 or 2 days based on ZiggyD's history. They tend to release their patch notes right before they actually launch the patch. And this one has some pretty interesting changes in it. Everyone's talking about the changes to cast on damage taken, but overall this patch, I have to say, is pretty awesome. Now about the cast on damage taken thing, we all knew a change was coming for that sooner or later, and I'm actually not too disappointed with the change of it. I think it's a pretty solid change, honestly. But we'll get to that in a moment. First up, we have some new skills coming to the game. We have the new support gem Enhance, which seems to function like the current Empower support gem. Now, the way Empower works is that at level 1 it does nothing, and at level 2 it increases the level of skill gems attached to it by 1, and at level 3 it increases those skills by 2. Now, Enhance functions similarly in that at level 1 it does nothing. On both of these, quality give them leveling speed, and that's a good thing because it takes forever to level up in power, and I imagine Enhance is going to be the same. However, typical ZiggyD fashion, we have no idea what Enhance is going to do yet. I'm guessing it does something like it either enhances support gems attached to it, though that would be kind of niche. The other thing it could do is enhance the quality effects of linked gems, so that could have some more applications of certain gems that really benefit from quality bonuses, and Enhance could help out with those. But it could be something else, I have no idea yet, and despite my pushing of various devs, no clues yet, but I'm excited to see what it does. Next up, we have 3 new auras coming: Purity of Fire, Purity of Ice, and Purity of Lightning. These have been added into the game as a way of giving people increased single resistances, and these also increase the max resistances by a significant degree, a few percent at endgame, I'm guessing. Now, at the same time, the original Purity is being changed so it no longer grants maximum resistances. Purity now will be useful for summoners and people who are having trouble gearing up and getting correct resists, whereas Purity of things like Fire will be helpful for people that want to run very specific specs like Righteous Fire, and Purity of Lightning might be cool for people who want to use items like the Lightning Coil. So it's going to be useful for specific builds, and it's also going to be useful for if you're going into a zone where you know it has fire damage, you can chuck on the Fire Aura and become pretty resistant to that fire damage, which I think is really cool because I like this idea of benefiting players who take the time to prepare for upcoming difficult challenges. So I really like that. You guys have seen from my my survival guide series that I like the idea of swapping around your resistance rings when you need to, and this is the same sort of idea. So pretty excited about that. Now the next change we have is there's going to be a Bandit Quest respec finally. This has been requested for a very long time, and the recipe so far that we know is 20 regret orbs to the vendor with another item. Now we know the one to align yourself with Oak, for example, is 20 regret orbs plus a strength amulet, and you do this in whichever difficulty you want to realign yourself to Oak. Now we don't know what the other ones are, but I can assume dexterity and intelligence amulets might be the one to go, but I don't know what it will be for the passive point, so there'll be a few days where people have to discover these recipes after they're launched, and ZiggyD like to keep these secret, but they gave us a bit of a clue with the Oak one there. So soon you'll be able to respec your bandit choices, and it's just going to be pretty expensive. It's kind of an endgame change to characters that are already well set in stone, so unless you have a lot of Orb of Regrets, you probably won't be taking advantage of that. Now, we have some map changes, and these are really cool. The item drop quantity and rarity for map bosses has been increased, so this is going to bring them more in line with Piety. So currently doing Piety runs is very satisfying. You get an awesome loot explosion at the end, but doing map bosses is kinda not really as exciting. I've done plenty of map bosses, where you only get a bunch of blues or something like that, and yeah, not really that rewarding, but map bosses are significantly challenging, and now they're going to be significantly rewarding as well, so I really like that too. Gives you a nice exciting end to each map. Now, you're also, while playing endgame maps, you're now more likely to find higher level maps. It just says more likely, doesn't say how much more likely, but it sounds like they're trying to lean towards map drops. Maps that drop will more likely be higher level or the same level as you, rather than getting 66 maps in your level 75 map. Yes. Everyone knows what it feels like to get those cruddy map drops in your high level maps. So this is going to be a really good change, and hopefully it'll help people trying to progress through the map system a little bit. I don't think it'll be a huge change, but it's probably going to be noticeable to people that do a lot of mapping. So both really cool changes. I'm excited to get into those, and I've been doing a lot of mapping on my EK Scion, and I'm really excited to see these changes in effect. So, next up we have the skill changes, and the first one is, of course, cast on damage taken. Now, I'm actually going to switch over to my main screen here, away from the background footage for you guys, to have a look at my current cast on damage taken setup, but first we'll talk about how it's changed. Cast on damage taken will now, after the patch, only cast gems that are in line with its level requirement. So as you can see here, I have a level 4 cast on damage taken, which has a required level of 37. So any skill gems attached to this that essentially have a level requirement above 37 will not work. So that means gone are the days where you have a level 1 cast on damage taken and a level 19 devouring totem or level 19 molten shell. So say goodbye to your free 1000 armor. So this is a pretty big nerf to the current way that cast on damage taken is used, but it's something I'm pretty sure everyone expected because the metagame for it was that everybody was basically just getting a free armor and free endurance charges without any sort of effort at all. So now you can still kind of do that a little bit, but not as powerful for people that aren't really speccing into it. Now, this won't affect people using cast on damage taken for damage dealing spills really, because you're always going to be leveling those up anyway. But let's take a look at my setup. This is going to be my post-patch setup, and I'm sure you guys will find this very helpful. I've kind of found a nice medium point, I think, where things are going to give me enough benefit, go off often enough, and still work together. So I'm using a level 4 cast when damage taken, which goes off after 620 damage. Doesn't take too long, and the level requirement is level 37. So I'm also using with that a level 7 Enduring Cry, which has a level requirement of 37. A level 9 Molten Shell, which has a level requirement of 36. If you level that up, it actually goes above level 37, so you can't level that up anymore. So that's a free 403 armor, you know. And then a level 9 Decoy Totem, which goes off, you know, is required level 33. I actually wonder if I can level that up. I'm pretty sure Decoy Totem, what did I write down? I wrote down level 9. I'm pretty sure you can't level it up again. It must go to level 38 or something like that. Oh yeah, next level requires 39. There you go. It says it in the tooltip itself. I'm an idiot. But that's my current setup. Obviously not as effective. You're not getting as much armor from Molten Shell or as much endurance charges from Enduring Cry, and your Decoy Totem isn't as tanky, but yeah, it's not too bad. The only thing I'm a bit sad about is I can't really run Devouring Totem on this build now because I had that on a proc, but Devouring Totem is only useful leveled up. Left at level 9 or something, it's not really going to help out in this build. So back to Decoy Totem, but overall I can still run this. It's still free defensive procs, you know, just take up this 4 link here and still get some pretty powerful, you know, endurance charges, occasional Molten Shell that adds a bit of extra armor. So it's still good, and I think still a lot of people will still use it. But not as powerful as it was. So we'll switch back to some background footage and we'll talk about the other skill changes. Next up, we have Ice Nova is having its damage increased at higher levels, so it's getting around 10% more damage at level 15. I'm sure people will appreciate that. Ice Nova is a great leveling skill, but not really that viable at endgame at the moment, and hopefully this helps. Vitality is having its mana reservation cost reduced from 60 to 40. This is cool. They're playing around with the different auras, seeing how much people can use them with the 60% reservations, and finding that Vitality is a bit too hard to support that for the builds that want to support it. Mostly people that run Vitality want to run it for minions or something like that, so helping them out a little bit I think is a good idea. I think this is a pretty cool change. Purity, as I mentioned, now grants no extra maximum resistances. If you want extra max resist, you need to go for Purity, Fire, Ice, or Lightning. Animated Guardian now recovers 25% of its life whenever a new armor piece is added to it, so you can keep your guy going a little bit longer, I guess, but this kind of seems like a pretty minor change to me. As I understand it, Animated Guardians are all really, really tanky as it is, so it's probably not a big change. Enfeeble has had its accuracy penalty reduced by half, so this is a pretty big change for evasion characters. A bit of a nerf given by quality has been changed by half. You know, it's not huge, but still a bit of a nerf for evasion characters. So that's just one to be aware of if you're running an evasion character with Enfeeble, which I imagine you would be. And Mortal Conviction has now had its cost reduction improved from 30% to 40% less aura mana reservation. So they do agree that blood magic really doesn't run auras very well. And with this change, combined with a few passives from the tree and the reduced mana gem, you should be able to run one aura without it eating too much of your survivability. Like if you have a 5k life, you might bring you down to like 4.5k or something like that. So yeah, you might be able to do that. It might be a little bit more viable. I still think you're probably not going to want to run too many auras on a blood magic character because yeah, trading off so much survivability there. But they're playing around with it, and maybe we'll see more changes in the future, or maybe this will help people out a bit. And then finally, early Scion spell damage passives have changed from 8% to 6%. That's a bit sad. I was using those on my EK, and she's going to lose a bit of damage now. But oh well, fair enough. Pretty strong cluster actually going through that, and the notable next to it was really powerful. So I can kind of understand why they've changed that. And then finally, we have our general balance change. The party life bonus for monsters in high difficulties has been reduced from 25% per player to 20% per player per difficulty. So parties still need a lot more damage output than in open beta, but it's not quite as high now. This is a fantastic change. I felt like the life scaling was just a little bit too high in a party to the point where it just felt kind of bad. It felt just way too grindy. Now it's still high. You still need to have a party with good synergy to increase your clear speed over solo, but this means that I think it's going to be a lot better balanced. I was hoping for a slight reduction in this, so really happy with this change. Anyway, that's it for my summary. If you want to get the full patch notes, check it out in the description below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.
Feels like wall you need it.
Getting close to Colony.
Oh shit, good work.
Oh, you got it.
That was super fast.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, we did it really
nice
well.
And smooth, nice and smooth.
Yeah, we have
the
good,
only thing, you know, like, as long as you never panic, you never just run around, you always just like stay focused and just keep chunking him. It's super easy.
It's a very mechanical
guys have a
boss.
spot?
So.